for integrating Hybris is there's I think there's two things that's happening in the Hybris system. At least that's what I've heard from the clients I've worked with that has done a Hybris. Not sure if that has changed for the newer releases of Hybris that's in cloud and is able to give users better information about what's really happening. So one of the things that there's two flows. There's the one where you from SAP is just synchronizing master data, customers, products, orders, all of these things up to the Hybris. And my customer that was doing that had a lot of these scenarios, so they had a lot of materials and they had to synchronize all. And the Hybris integration engine they were using wasn't really. There was some bugs with it that it would not accept. So if someone had ordered a new material, you want to synchronize the material first, and then you want to send the order. If the order was then sent first, then it would fail because the material was missing. So it had to do a lot of manual labor to clean up this and make sure that it worked. I'm not sure about those interfaces if they still worked. Of there's another way that you do that right now, but that's definitely one thing. And as a user, I think it's good if you could synchronize and you have a low number of orders, materials, and stuff like that. If you have a huge amount, it just becomes not really practical to synchronize all of these data because you're not sure if they have been delivered correctly or what's happening there. Then there's the other one where there's some asynchronous or synchronous communication from whenever a user reaches the Hybris system that needs to go back to the backend and figure out what some information, place an order, or whatever happened. So that would be a synchronous one. Hybris have been using their own Hybris hub or whatever it's called, which is essentially just like the PI system that is able to do some message processing and mapping. But some people say it's not the best integration solution ever created. But it may serve a specific purpose in this case, and that may be the reason why it exists. But definitely the thing I would look out for is how much data do we need to synchronize in these asynchronous jobs, and how much is in the synchronize in the async in the synchronous processes for where users directly accessing the backend system, because obviously it's not really useful to throw all requests. So yeah, if you could put a caching, it would probably be better in the Hybris that you not every time have to do it. But I guess it would be so if you every time had to look up an order, you had to look up all the materials below it. It will just be a nightmare, and nothing would ever happen. But on the other hand, if you had created a good API cache or something like that, it may be a little easier because you would just have it cached all there, and the Hybris system would not know where it's coming from, just that it's cached in the backend. So I think that would probably be a better solution if you had a API management APG backend behind it. From what I hear, instead of having to request all of these materials all the time, or synchronize those. And I have no doubt. The customer I was using was working with was a 731 dual stack system. Obviously, this was just created using IDOCs, so there's no problem in integrating it with Hybris directly. I guess the challenge would then be if how fast this needs, or yeah, if you can avoid the Hybris hub, but I think that's just a part of the installation, and that is where Hybris is handling these things. So you may have to set up some custom jobs that's able to process this these messages again, and look at the error that it's getting. If it's, I think that was also one of the problem. They were using a SOAP adapter or something like that, and of REST. Can't remember, and it wasn't really giving a lot of useful information back the normal way. You would just have to figure out how to get it in a little different way.